Okay, what we have here is a 2018 350 EXC-F. I have it laying over on its side because I plan to check the oil screen, but I don't want to change the oil. I don't want to drain the oil. The reason I want to do this is because the last time I did an oil change, my oil screen had black plastic particles in it of some type, and I don't know where that came from. So I want to pull the screen out after riding it for 2 hours since my last oil change and see if there are any more black particles on the screen. The oil change before the last oil change, I did do some work on the engine. I had replaced the oil pump idler gear, which is a plastic gear, and you can see from lots of information online that there was a bad batch of gears that would soften in the oil and would strip, and the oil would not pump up to the head. It would cause a catastrophic failure that was very expensive to fix. So to prevent that issue, I proactively replaced the oil pump gear. Another bit of work I did was I replaced the clutch dampers, and those are black rubber. And I also replaced the timing chain tensioner. The OEM tensioner uses oil pressure to help tension the timing chain, and also online there's lots of reports about that being an issue. As a matter of fact, I kind of found it being an issue too. I had the problem where there was like ticking noises coming from the engine. So I replaced the OEM timing chain tensioner with the Dirt Tricks tensioner and haven't had that issue since. So I definitely think that fixed an issue. So back to the black particles on my oil screen. The oil pump idler gear, maybe it sheds some black particles, I don't know. Maybe it came from the clutch dampers, the black rubber dampers I replaced, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if they're known to shed a little material on their first use, kind of during break-in, I guess. And since I replaced the timing chain tensioner, the timing chain guide maybe it's wearing for some reason, I really don't know. But anyway, I have the bike laying on its side. I've had it laying on its side for a little while, and you have to do this anyway when you replace the oil, because where the oil filter is, the instructions say before putting the new oil filter in, you should pour, this area where the filter goes, you should fill it up about a third of the way with oil. So you kind of have to put it on its side like this to do that. So everyone with this bike and similar bikes should already have a method for putting it over on its side like this. I just used a motorcycle lift and a folded up bath towel to give some cushion. Put it in gear, so put it in first gear so it wouldn't roll around and become unstable. It would stay put. And I put the throttle hand grip on that, and that's what it's laying on. So now I'm going to remove the oil screen. It's a 13 millimeter. Let's go ahead and get started. I don't know if this is going to cause a big oil leak. Just in case it starts to drip oil, I don't want to make a mess on my floor. I'll put a little bit of old cardboard underneath it there. Old cardboard comes in handy when you work on bikes to keep from spilling drops of oil or antifreeze or whatever other fluid you're working with from getting on your floor in your garage. So everybody has extra boxes laying around. Just break them down and use them as floor protectors under your bikes when you're working on them. Anyway, so now I've got it loose. We'll go ahead and take this cap off. I'm hoping it doesn't start letting oil run out all over the place, because this thing has its, this thing's got oil in it. I haven't drained any of the oil out. That's why I have it laying so far on its side, just so all that oil is down in the other half of the engine, and should not come out when I do this. So far so good. It looks like I've completely loosened the screen cover, and the screen's coming out with it, so that works out very well. Okay, let me just drop that back in there for just a second so that I can get a towel to put under it. Use a shop towel here. And then I can inspect the screen. Okay. Seems I see a little bit of black particles still. I don't think it's enough to dissect the engine at this point, but I'm definitely keeping an eye on this. So what I may do is I may put another couple of hours on the bike, and I may pull this screen out again, now that I know I can pull the screen out without draining the oil. Anyway, I'll clean this up. Maybe I'll put another couple of hours on it and check again. I'm hoping that this will clear up. Maybe it'll take another oil change for it to completely clear up, because maybe there was more particles in the oil left from, in the bottom of the case when I did my last oil change. And so they're not all completely out. They didn't all get caught in the screen. Maybe some fell off the screen when the oil was being drained, and stayed in the case after the oil was drained. I really don't know. I'm going to keep an eye on this. It's definitely concerning. My bike's been running fine. If anybody watching this video has seen these black particles before, maybe after some of the work I just described, please chime in on the comments and let me know if you've had the same thing. Anyway, the purpose of the video was just to verify that you can take the screen out to take a look and see if you have any black particles or any other type of particles in your screen, metal shavings or anything like that. If you have some concern because you've just done some work on your engine, or you've done an oil change and you found some particles and you want to check again without waiting for your next oil change interval, or without having to drain the oil and waste it, this proves that you can take the oil screen out and inspect it without draining and changing your engine oil.